I'm Vance Bastian here with my co-host S.A. Baz Collins for today's Written on the Edge Spotlight, and today we'll be diving deeply into the arrogance of stupidity.
I don't want this to sound so much like a rant and more of a big red warning flag. Because I know for you, it's a big thing that we don't sound preachy or screechy, and I don't want to do that. But I think the level of arrogance that people have in their own lack of putting in the work to understand stuff
Hmm.
is truly audacious. I mean, to the point where I I don't know if you saw it, but on YouTube there was this thing with on Jubilee channel on YouTube where Sam Seder, who's quite well known in progressive circles, went in debated a bunch of conservatives about stuff. And at one point he got into an argument, and I'll insert it here. He got into an argument with I don't want to say argument, a debate with one guy who tried to tell him that the government would definitely not do what Sam said was happening because they could have a problem with their tax status and they were going to have to pay taxes to the government. And and I'm paraphrasing all of what happened, but the level of his ignorance and Sam just bewildered look of, are you fucking kidding me? We're having this discussion that the government would pay taxes to the government. I mean, it,
Hmm.
I think we need to bring back Schoolhouse Rock because I think some of these kids literally have no fucking idea how this country works or how it's supposed to work. And I think that it goes back to what my husband said back when his father was a superintendent of schools in Ohio, in Chillicothe, where they were living, or it was Columbus, I don't remember. Anyways, um, he said that back then in the 50s that he was really angry with the way the schools are being run because the Republicans back then were working to dumb down education.
Hmm.
So this is a really long game. And the fact that they've succeeded so much that it really is the studious children who stood up, paid attention, and actually got engaged, while the slackers, for lack, lack of a better term, um, just never put in the effort and just sat back in their ignorance and their apathy and just didn't care. And I guess to a degree back then, there was some decorum still. So you had the ability to have a bit of ignorance or a bit of apathy because people played by rules. Well, those rules are gone.
Hmm.
They're just out the window, so far in the horizon, we can't even see them anymore, you know. And I'm really appalled when I used to watch them and kind of go laugh and go, gee, man, this guy's an idiot, kind of thing. But now you see like Adam Mockler or Luke Beasley or Harry Sisson go out and talk to these Trump folks. and present them with counterpoints with actual facts. And then you just see these idiots just freeze because they have never considered that the position they're standing on is misinformation and is wrong. They refuse to admit their culpability in their own stupidity,
Hmm.
which is very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that I find the most troubling because arrogance is just their shielding behavior they're using to justify the fact that they did something wrong and can't admit it, or they followed the wrong guy and can't admit it. But
Yeah,
it's tearing democracy down.
yeah. And the fact that I even marvel at our generation who are so deeply entrenched in the cult. Like, and you tell them you're in a fucking cult and they look at you like you're a moron. Yet I'm not the one wearing an orange skinned guy on my chest right now.
Hmm.
I'm for my person that's going up for the election, but I'm not fucking freaking out with the wardrobe. I mean, I'm sorry, that is a fucking cult,
Hmm.
and the fact that they can't even see that
Right.
is just truly astounding.
Oh yeah.
You
No,
know,
they're worshiping a political figure. That's cult behavior.
yeah, yeah. But you point out those elements to them, and they just think, "Well, you're the one who's nuts." The crazies are running the asylum.
Hmm.
That's where we are, people. And I think the thing that really gets to me more than anything is you can't reach them.
No.
And if that's the case, then the only option we have as the sane ones is to figure out how the fuck to shame them into silence. And good luck with that because most of them have no shame.
Hmm.
There used to be a thing back in the 80s and 90s that all my drag queen black friends say, girl ain't got no shame. Trust me, there's a lot of shameless people roaming around out there.
Hmm.
And that's the other thing, you see even even on YouTube, the thumbnails that say, this person was humiliated. No, they're not. They're not fucking humiliated. They have no shame.
Hmm.
We're at that point, people. I did a rant a couple of episodes back on this channel where I said, you know, that we need to cultivate shame back again. And that may have irked some people, but I really do believe that. I mean, these kids are out of control. They are entitled. They want what they want. I was telling my husband this yesterday. I watched a video about people who have outrageous car loans. Outrageous. Hey, everybody, Editing Bass here. I'm about to go into a section of Spotlight here where I was pulling what I remembered from the videos I watched out of my ass, and it clearly shows because I have corrections that I'll put up on the screen. So just know that I was trying to recall things on the fly. Didn't work out quite so well. Normally, I write the things down, but I tried to wing it this time around. Just wanted to admit that up front. So enjoy this next section, and you'll see the corrections where I post them throughout my little rant. Okay? Thanks. Bye. This one girl, I swear to God, I was like, what? She said, they asked her, she had this nice little sporty coupe that was behind her. And the guy was just going to people and saying, hey, hi, like your car. How much did you put down? How much did you pay for it? And for how long? That was the question, the three questions he asked everybody. And he comes up to this girl. She's got to be like, I don't know, 20, 22, maybe. So she's young and she's standing in front of this sporty car. And he goes, so how I love your car. How much did you put down? She goes, $1,000. And he said, okay. And how much is your monthly car payment? $348. And you're thinking they're looking there going, how can you have that expensive of a car for $348? Then he gives the kicker. And for how long? 285 months. That's 25 years, more than 25 years, people. Do the math. I know, right? I'm like, what fucking bank gave her that loan? Because the value of the car is long gone. Honey, that has depreciated to zero. We are down
Yeah.
to nothing.
If it's even still running.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Oh,
and then there are people who are sitting there buying. You know, those one woman was comparing. I know I ain't the only one out here with high car payments, and she did have a southern accent. Sorry, I'm not making shit up. This is what she sounds like. I'm like, what? She goes, it's cutting into my purchasing power, y'all. Now, no shit. Didn't you run the numbers in the car in the car dealership to know whether or not it was going to like blow up your whole budget for them? I don't. This is the audacity and the arrogance of stupidity. They were willingly walk into these situations, and then you kind of just go, well, okay. I understand why car salesmen have the reputation they do because there are some really fucking stupid people that they could totally take advantage of, and seems like they do, you know. But she's just going on and on about this, and I'm thinking to myself, sweetheart. And then this one girl said she got one and she had a 29% interest on her car. Yeah, yeah. And the kicker was she said, well, I didn't know that I was supposed to hunt around and find a good car loan. She goes, because all my family bought their cars in cash.
there's a reason for that.
Yeah, it's called the internet. You can actually look this shit up before you go. Again, we have apathy and arrogance of stupidity going like that. You know, it's truly mind-boggling. There's one that I was going to show you as a share, but I'll just tell you a little bit about it. Tom Wolfson Jr., who I love, I go to this guy. I swear to God, everything he says is things Jay says to me on the side about people, and it's like he's his spirit animal. I go watch my husband's spirit animal show, and this guy does like 3 minutes videos. I sent you a few of them on your in the link
Which
I sent you.
which one was he?
The
I
guy with
watched.
the long beard. That's
Oh, the one who covered the "It's Not a Cult."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's hysterical. His videos are really fucking short, but they're hysterical. And he had one where there was this woman who was in a custody battle for her kids. And the judge told her, yeah, you've been denying your husband access to children that are given to him by court order. And she said, well, I just want to protect them. And he says, that's not an excuse, ma'am. We've already had this discussion in court. This is the order. You're supposed to. Well, no, no. And then he goes, okay, you know what? I'm holding you in contempt of court. You will be remanded to the officer of the court who will take you to jail and you'll be there for 30 days. And then she goes, no. And he goes, now it's 60. You want to keep doing this? And the guy comes back to Tom. Tom's like, well, fuck, do you not know to shut the fuck up to protect your own ass? How do you not know this? You are in court.
wonder if the Supreme Court could do that to the Trump administration for,
And I don't even know how the hell they're going to like deal with Trump in this whole situation because again, these are stupid people. Trump and all of his sycophants are all stupid fucking people. You see them on TV, and unless they're on Fox or Newsmax or RS1 or whatever the fuck that other one is, real Voice of America or whatever the hell it is, um, they they go on these other shows and they get stymied with all kinds of people who push back with facts and stuff, and they just go belligerent in
hmm
their rampant stupidity.
hmm Yep,
And it's
arrogance
like,
is the shield.
yeah, yeah, it's just I just sit here and look at this, and I get that a lot of these YouTubers, they're cultivating, they're farming for this stuff on social media and stuff. But the thing is, we know it's out there and it's en masse because obviously 70 some odd million people voted for this motherfucker. So we know that their stupidity brought them, and then they have the audacity to come out here and complain when shit starts going wrong for them. It's like, no, there's one guy who went out there and said, "Oh, my alloy tiger import company is going to shit because blah 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 blah. I need someone to tell me how to, to contact some other providers or distributors that I can purchase from. I tried emailing them. No, sir, nobody wants to do business with the U.S. right now. We fucked ourselves. You are not going to find another distributor
hmm
because nobody wants to deal with us. We're too fucking unreliable. We're too fucking crazy, batshit crazy, and they sit there and just are flabbergasted in how they're in this position because you willingly walked into a booth and put a check next to the convicted felon as president who told you exactly what he was going to do. And you just thought that it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with everybody else who you were mad at too. And that's all you cared about. And now you caught up in the same sticky wicket web that we are. That's how that works.
I know.
And then the last thing I want to show and I want to share is a little bit of humor. Do you have anything else to add?
No. Seriously, I've started walking away from stupid people in the world.
Yeah, it's just you have it for your own mental saneness. You have to, because there's no reaching them. They are just so fucking gone. But anyways, to end this on a happy note or a funny note, I'm putting another Tom Wilson Jr. Episode up here for us to go out on. That I think is hysterical. It's about someone who has a name that when you see it spelled out, you will not know how to pronounce it until it's explained to you. This is also the arrogance of stupidity in action. Roll clip.
For the record, I did share that clip with people in my life, and we all agreed that name should have been Jackman.
Yeah. Well, even he says that in the end, or Jack Moon or
Hmm.
Jack, you know,
Yep.
no L.
Uh-huh. Well, that's it for today. We encourage you to find one or two more expert videos on the topic. Come back to discuss with others. Here in the comments, fill it, flood it. Let's talk about this. And as you do, please remember to separate emotion from fact and entertainment from education. So smash that like symbol and whack the subscribe button so you get the alerts for new episodes. We'll see you next time under the spotlight.
I did it right this time.
You did. I'm very proud of you.